You're listening to Small Business Talk with Jerry. Sit in on great conversations with entrepreneurs who risk everything chasing the American dream.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Small Business Talk with Jerry. Today our guest is Zoe Bierman from Major & Company, Pivotal Wealth, both.
Major and Company for now, switching over to Pivotal Wealth soon. But,
Perfect,
yeah.
perfect. Well, it's another piece of SBR, this is by SBR Productions, but for SBR Group, Small Business Referral Group. We're going to talk today about hiring your own children, minor children, correct?
Yep.
So this is is it myth or is it true? This is what we're going to get through today. So Zoe's going to clear this a little bit because people will tell you what a great tax advantage it is. People will tell you can't do it. So we want to clear that up a little bit today. And remember, with all of our educational segments, we're not trying to run your business for you. We're not trying to get in your business, but we want to help you know what to ask. So at the end of the day, all the topics that we talk about here, they need to be brought up with your tax professional, with your accountant, with your lawyer, whatever the case is, to make sure that it's right for you. We're just going to try and steer the boat a little bit. So Zoe, take it away. Let's talk a little bit about hiring your own underage children.
Yeah, absolutely. You absolutely can do that.
Okay.
There are obviously, you have to follow specific steps and rules, obviously guidelines.
Sure.
So when you're going to go hire your own kid, like ages, whatever, like when they're able to start doing stuff for you, legitimately working, you have to be able to hire them for a part in your business that is actually legitimate.
Sure.
Like you can't hire a 5-year-old to go drive your forklift and,
Sure.
it doesn't work like that.
Right.
So essentially what you do when you hire your kid is you go through the whole process like you're hiring an outsider.
Sure.
Right? So you have to have them fill out that Form I-9, W-4.
Are you guys taking notes?
You have to have them fill out all that paperwork and then they can start working for you, but they have to be working like I said, a legitimate part in your business.
Sure. Now, if I hire an employee to stock my shelves, and I'm going to pay them $18 an hour, well, can I pay my kid $37.50 an hour to do the same job?
Yeah. No, doesn't work like that.
Okay. All right. Well, these are the questions that people are going to ask.
Right.
So,
yeah. No. So you can hire your kid, like you said, $18 an hour, or whatever, to stock shelves. You can hire your kid for that same job for that same amount.
Okay.
It's literally like hiring somebody off the street for like that kind of same amount. Sure. And everything like that to make sure that it's legitimate, right?
Right.
So if you actually need that help and everything like that, and it's also eventually a great tax rate, tax break for you.
Sure.
To be able to get that.
But it's just that it's a tax break. It's not a tax shelter. You're not trying to find a way to shuffle money from one place to another. Right. You're truly going to hire your children for
legitimate reasons.
Yep. And they're actually going to work for you, and they're just another employee.
Right.
But so great. So that's now being they're your own kids. I'm assuming you still have, child labor laws that have to be followed. I mean, all of that has to fall in line, whether they're your child or not.
Yep. So obviously whatever job you give them must be suitable for their age group. For example, like landscaping business, you can't hire your 8-year-old to like drive your lawnmower or anything like that.
Sure.
Like it has to be suitable job for the child. If you have like where you're trying to advertise for your business, you could hire your kid to like post on social media if you're not like super comfortable doing that.
Oh, yeah, than I do.
Yeah, exactly. Algorithms and everything like that. Like you could hire your kid to do that. And then make sure that also it's not like you're not putting a 5-year-old like scooping coal or something like that.
Sure,
that.
Right.
It's all states are a little different, so making sure you follow your state guidelines for hiring.
So I'm gonna call you out on something there. Just you said hire your 8-year-old. Well, now I can't hire an 8-year-old, someone else's, to come work for me.
Right. Can
I hire my own? I mean, I think right now, like grocery stores, I know the local grocery store, they hire at 14, but they have limited hours, times that they can work, and how many hours a week, and what those hours would be. So are we limited? Do we have to wait till our kids are 14 and fall into that same category, or do we get a little more leeway that way?
For your own business, like I said, if it's a legitimate thing.
Yep.
Like obviously if the kid is, capable of doing that kind of thing.
Yep.
Obviously you shouldn't hire your 3-year-old or something like that.
I guess
10 years old and like up kind of a thing would be.
Well, I know like at 12 years old, I see a lot of these kids, 10, 12 years old, and they can, I mean, electronics, technology is they're better at than their parents in a lot of cases.
Right.
So you could hire your 12-year-old to do your social media where I couldn't hire your 12-year-old to do my social media.
Right.
Okay, so it isn't exactly the same set of rules,
Right.
like labor laws. I mean,
right. Well,
not exactly.
With right. Well, I mean, with your own, it's your own kid.
Yeah, when it's your own children.
When it's your own child, you know the capabilities. There's stuff like that. Then there are some work, but there's obviously the big child labor laws.
Right,
like,
of course. Yeah, of course. You can't put them in danger. And
Right.
all those common decency things. Right, absolutely.
Yep.
So now I know it used to be 13,850 you could do. Now this 2024, that went up to 14,600. Is there an increase for 2025 that we're aware of, or is that?
I believe it's going up. I think it goes up maybe like $100 some every year. It'll change.
Okay.
But
so again, consult your tax professional to know what the number is.
Yep. But yeah, for right now for 2024, it's 14,600.
Okay. Okay. Great. What are there any advantages to your kid?
Yeah, I mean, so with what's great about this here is that when you do hire your own kid, you're not having to pay Social Security tax.
Okay.
With that. And then you can create like an IRA for them where you can put away educational stuff for their education.
What's an IRA?
IRA is.
I told you, better take notes. She's throwing these acronyms out there.
IRA is simply another way, like a retirement fund, that you can put money away in tax free for the future.
Yep. So your kids can do that. You can start them off with that when they're underage, when they're minors.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So under the age of 18, even when they do turn 18, you do get some more. It's the same kind of benefits. There's a little bit change in the benefits with that, but you do have the capability to still hire your 18-year-old if you wanted to.
Sure.
Yep.
Are there any? Well, of course, let's stick with the benefits to the child.
Yep.
So they're still going to have a W-2.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
Even if they're 12, 14, 15 years old, and but if they're getting paid, they need a W-2 treated again like a normal employee.
Right.
Okay. And then from there, any other benefits to the children besides not paying Social Security tax? What about state, federal?
State and federal, those two things don't have to actually come out, I believe.
Okay.
With the IRS rules, let's see here, you can lower your taxable income as you can deduct their salaries from your business. So that's a good one. Depending on what type of business you have, you don't have to pay that Social Security tax and Medicare. That's the big one.
And the business doesn't pay any of that.
They don't have to match it. No, they don't have to match it, pay anything, because that doesn't come out.
We still get to count the salary or the wages as an expense.
Correct.
Awesome. So it is. It is legitimate. It is a real thing.
Yep.
And that would be pretty beneficial to a small business.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other benefits to the business side of that?
Well, it's huge is that, I mean, obviously you're not paying that Social Security tax or anything like that towards it. So you're saving money in that. And even when the kid turns, 18, you'll have to eventually match that.
Sure.
But you eventually will get that refund if you're able to deduct your part that you contributed. And that's an easy deduction for you on that side.
Okay. So there's substantial benefits on both sides for the children and for the parent, the business owner, in having your kids under 18 working for you. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So again, folks, if you've got kids and they have any interest in what you're doing at all, it's sure better than giving them an allowance. Sticking a couple dollars under their pillow, put them to work a little bit. Show them what you've got going on.
Yeah. A great learning experience for the kid, and then eventually they'll learn how to handle their money. Because then when you're able to apply that, maybe some of their wages, put them towards like a retirement fund or something like that, then they're getting started early and get a little bit of a leg up on life. Right.
To get an individual retirement account for your kids, what a great way to get things started. That's awesome. Anything else we should know about hiring your kids?
I feel like we touched on a little bit of everything.
All right. Well, guys, we're at about 9 minutes. So quick, easy education for today. Zoe, thank you so much. If anybody has any questions, put it in the comments. Any parting words?
Well, hope you come back for more. We're going to have a little bit more segments for you a little later on.
Awesome. Thanks, Zoe.
Of course.